Hello, hello! Welcome back to Tallon 4! This time we're starting in the Hive Totem of Chozo Ruins as we're in search of all the pesky little missile expansions. There are 50 in total, so buckle up because we're going to be here for a while. Our first missile involves us serving as pest control, so prep your arm cannon and fire away at the war wasps as they flood out of the Hive mecha. Once you kill all the wasps, the mecha will expose a weak spot that you'll need to shoot before the time runs out. If you trigger the mechanism, then you'll move on to the next wave. Otherwise, you'll have to redo the current one, so make sure to be quick. Keep doing this until the mecha recedes back into the ceiling to recover your missile capabilities. If you aren't familiar with my guides, make sure to check the description for timestamps of every missile in the video and the location you can find it at. If you find this video to be useful, throw me a like and subscribe to keep an eye out for more Metroid and other guides in the future. The second missile lands us in the ruined gallery of Chozo Ruins. On your way back from acquiring the first missile, drop onto the little platform on the bottom floor and fire off a missile towards the cracked wall. The wall should fall to pieces, revealing the missile expansion for you to snag for yourself. Missile number 3 is also in Chozo Ruins, but this time in the Watery Hall access. On your way through this room, you should notice another cracked wall on the side of the lowest part of the room. Fire off a missile and snag the expansion hiding in this newly exposed burrow. The fourth missile expansion can be found by starting in Burn Dome access within Chozo Ruins. Here we'll actually need the Morph Ball Bomb too, but we'll tackle getting that in the Burn Dome at the end of the tunnel. Once inside, you'll see a large War Wasp hive and an incinerator drone beneath it. To eradicate the War Wasps, their hive, and the drone, you'll need to overload the drone by waiting until it exposes its internal power core, and then shoot the hell out of it. This will then cause the drone to shoot a pillar of flame into the hive, which will also agitate the hive's inhabitants. Squash the bugs while avoiding the flames, and keep doing this until the drone destroys the hive and then itself, leaving behind our Morph Ball Bomb. Now that we have the Morph Ball Bomb, we can follow the little path on the floor to a panel on the wall. Pop off a bomb, then roll on in and grab your shiny new expansion. We're still in Chozo Ruins for the fifth missile, where we'll be putting our new Morph Ball Bomb to good use, except this time we find ourselves in the ruined Nursery. First, we'll need to open up the path completely by dropping a Morph Ball Bomb in the center of the chiseled wall to allow the metal block to fall into place and out of the way. From there, we just need to hop up to the beginning of the path and use the Morph Ball Bomb to hop onto higher ledges and clear the remaining portions of the small trail. Once you get to the end, grab your new expansion and roll out onto the floor from there. Missile expansion number 6 takes us back to the ruined gallery of Chozo Ruins. Once you return, drop to the bottom floor and look for a small opening on the wall. Once you find it, use a Morph Ball Bomb to hop into it and roll until you smack face first into yet another missile expansion. Our 7th expansion is located in the vault of Chozo Ruins, so we're going to stop by real quick and perform a heist. In order to extricate the missile from its prison, we have to trigger the bomb slot mechanisms on the backside of the enclosure. The first two are easy as they require breaking a couple faceplates and either rolling in or doing a single bomb hop into the bomb slots. The third one will require a double bomb hop though. This is a little trickier, so if you struggle with this, try to time your bombs by dropping the first bomb whenever, second right before the first goes off, and then your third when you're at the top of your hop from the first bomb. Or if you're using Wiimote, just shake it upwards and drop your bomb at the pinnacle like I do here. Once all the slots have triggered, Roll on in and claim your treasure. Expansion number 8 is hiding in a room behind the Triclops pit of Magmoor Caverns. In order to get this elusive expansion, we'll have to take a pretty elaborate series of tunnels and passages to find the chamber where it resides. First, we'll need to find a cave beneath the pit's entrance and use our morph ball to roll into a pipe to gain access to the short opening beneath the gridded floor. From here, we just need to avoid the numerous Triclops that are scattered around and make our way into the far corner of the room where another pipe can be seen. On the other side of this pipe, we can see an opening that leads to a door on the wall. Hop up the couple of ledges and enter the door. Once inside, meander through the short tunnel to find the expansion hiding in its own cage above the lava. We're back in Chozo Ruins for the 9th set of missiles, and this time we'll be playing around in the main plaza. This one just requires us to make use of our boost ball in the middle of the room. Ramp up to the top of the half pipe to find an expansion tucked away on one side. Easy peasy. We next find ourselves in the ruined shrine of Chozo Ruins, which actually houses the next 2 expansions. To grab the first, hop onto the large half pipe near the entrance of the room and use the boost ball to reach the ledge off to the right. From there, roll through the small opening to find an expansion floating in the center of the alcove. Next, roll back out into the opening at the bottom of the middle of the room. On the far right side of the room will be a small covering that can be blasted away with a morph ball bomb. Drop one to gain access to another alcove harboring our 11th expansion. Expansion number 12 pulls us back to where we first started on Tallon 4 as we revisit the landing site in Tallon Overworld. Once you arrive, you just need to find the small opening behind Samus's ship. Drop into your morph ball and roll on in to find number 12 just hanging out, waiting for you to come and save it. Lucky number 13 takes us to Research Lab Aether within Phendrana Drifts. Normally you'll see some space pirates running around here, so keep an eye out and take them out first. Once the coast is clear, make your way about halfway down the scaffolding in the room where you can see a small ledge high on the wall. Double jump onto this ledge and then use your morph ball to navigate the small bridge-like structure. Be careful not to fall off as this ledge is very thin. If you're careful, you should be able to make your way to the end where your next set of missiles is chilling in a little cubby. Our next destination is a quick stop in Research Lab Hydra in Phendrana Drifts to grab number 14. Here we just need to find the container made of cordite near a Metroid container and blow it away with a super missile. This is probably the hardest expansion of all, so brace yourself. Grab it and let's get out of here. Expansion 15 pulls us into the fiery shores of Magmoor Caverns. Within this cave flooded with lava, we can find some scaffolding along one of the walls once we make our way into the clearing. Use this old scaffolding to scale the wall, which will eventually allow us to make our way onto a thin overhang dangling above the lava. Carefully navigate the ledge to grab your newest expansion. On to number 16, head on over to Transfer Tunnel B in Tallon Overworld. This one's real difficult as we'll have to go under a bridge instead of over it. That's crazy, right? We'll walk on over, grab your shiny pointy thing, and let's move on. The 17th expansion takes us back to the main plaza of Chozo Ruins. Once you arrive, make your way across the room and up the remaining architecture, then back towards the large bridge that crosses the breadth of the plaza. Walk right on past that bridge and onto a ledge over top a door near the entrance. From here, we'll want to charge up a super missile and fire it into the gnarled side of a tree across the gap. This should open up a hole in the tree that we'll want to hop into to grab the expansion that's hiding there. On to missile expansion number 18. This little guy can be found in the ruined fountain of Chozo Ruins. Hop on across the room and drop into the geyser with your Morph Ball when it's off. Once it begins shooting water again, it'll push us up to the ceiling where a spider ball track can be seen. Latch onto that spider ball track and follow it to the end where the expansion patiently awaits. Next up is number 19 at the Gathering Hall of Chozo Ruins. This expansion will be found at the very tip top of the room, so begin scaling the cliffs and ledges until on the metal platform near the top. From here, we can actually go a little bit higher if we jump on one of the red cylinders on either side and double jump onto the overhang above. Next, drop into the Morph Ball, fire off a bomb, and roll into the metal canopy containing the pack of missiles. Expansion 20 takes us into the depths of Chozo Ruins in a room called Crossway. Here we'll need to first destroy a faceplate across a room with a super missile. Once destroyed, the hidden device will trigger a mechanism in the wall once it is scanned. This mechanism will reveal a hidden spider ball track that we can now access. To get high up on the wall, we first need to make use of the half pipe that spans the room. Time your boosts and latch onto the track, which will take you to a bomb slot higher on the wall. Trigger the bomb slot, and another spider ball track will be revealed closer to the entrance. Use the half pipe again to get to the newly revealed track to trigger the second bomb slot. This bomb slot will lower a cylindrical elevator that is on a timer, so make sure to get to it quickly before it goes up without you. At the top of the elevator is the newest addition to your expansion collection. The 21st expansion takes us to Save Station 3 of Chozo Ruins, but we'll be leaving soon. Use your Morph Ball to enter the pipe on the wall, which eventually takes us to an elevator leading to Tallon Overworld. Once the elevator comes to a stop, use your Ice Beam to move on to the next area. Hop over the local creatures and growths to arrive at the next door, which reveals our coveted expansion. Shoot the grass so it recedes, then roll on in and grab your prize. Our 22nd set of missiles takes us to the entrance of Phendrana Drifts at Phendrana Shorelines. When here, we need to make our way up the cliffs on the far side of this frozen basin. Once part of the way up, we can double jump onto one of the platforms nearby, which points towards the frozen temple. A couple more well-timed jumps and we'll be sitting at the front of this temple, where another faceplate can be seen on the wall. Fire off a super missile to reveal the switch hiding behind it. Scan this switch and take the spider ball track that's now revealed to the top of the tower where our expansion is keeping watch over the valley. Missile 23 brings us to the Frigate crash site of Tallon Overworld. Make your way into the large pool of water and onto the gnarled roots that span the bottom of the pool. About halfway across the other side, you should be able to see a small opening in the face of the rock towards the water's surface on the left. Hop up into this opening to grab yet another missile expansion. The 24th expansion brings us deep into the wreckage of the Space Pirate Frigate within the Biohazard Containment of Tallon Overworld. Within this room, we'll need to make our way through to the bottom floor that's flooded with water from the wreck and find the storage container with a cordite door. Charge up a super missile and let it fly to discover another missile expansion waiting for us to take it home. Missile set number 25 can be acquired at the very beginning of Phazon Mines in the Space Pirates' main quarry. This will require a few steps, so the first thing we'll want to do is clear out the turrets to make scaling walkways less annoying. From here, let us make our way up the path and take out any new baddies that decide they want to make an appearance. Moving along, there will be one more space pirate hiding away, so take care of him real quick too. Next, hop onto the roof of the mining machine and use the thermal visor to detect an unpowered conduit that we can turn on with the wave beam. Once it's turned on, the console controlling the structure will regain power, which can now be scanned to be used for our purposes. Scan the terminal and then make your way up the spider ball track to scale the massive device once it moves into place and reveals our missile expansion. Once at the end, drop down and hop into the crevice containing the newly discovered set of missiles. Alright, we're halfway done as we move to Elite Research in Phazon Mines for our 26th set of missiles. This room normally has weapon-specific space pirates, so be sure to take care of them on each floor. After the pirates are disposed of, make sure to scan the terminals, allowing the platforms to drop into place, making the next floor accessible. Keep doing this until we have access to the top floor and, subsequently, the massive mining laser at the top. As we arrive at the top, there will be a spinner that we can use to move the mining laser into place. Use the boost ball until the laser points directly to the left before scanning the terminal near the spinner to fire it off. The laser will charge up and blow away the boulders at the surface to reveal our hidden gem. Now we just need to hop on over to collect it. Expansion 27 can be found in Elite Control Access, which lies at the bottom of Elevator A within Phazon Mines. Once you arrive, simply shoot the volatile container to detonate charges within the machinery nearby. This will reveal a new missile expansion while also eradicating some hidden space pirates. Jump onto the small ledge to grab your prize. Missile Expansion 28 lands us in the Great Tree Hall of Tallon Overworld. This expansion involves landing on an invisible platform to access a door. You can actually see where it floats by looking for where the raindrops stop mid-air. Once you know where it is, hop into the hollowed out portion of the tree and then jump towards that spot that magically impedes the rainfall. Once you land on the invisible platform, hop towards the door tucked behind the massive branches. From here, we just walk through the door and increase our missile capacity some more with our newest expansion. The Life Grove Tunnel of Tallon Overworld is where we'll start for missile expansion number 29. Here we'll need to pop off a power bomb to gain access to the tunnels created by the local creatures. After the rock is destroyed, roll on in until you get to a half-pipe structure. Time your boosts correctly until you land on top. In the center of the top ledge, drop a Morph Ball Bomb to open a hidden passage that has our expansion hidden inside of it. Missile Expansion 30 drops us into the Furnace of Chozo Ruins. First, pop off a devastating power bomb off to the side to chisel the nearby floor into a usable half-pipe. Then we just need to boost away until we're able to latch onto the nearby spider track. Just make sure to avoid the little plated parasites that live on these tracks to avoid being knocked off. Keep moving along the track and then hop onto the next before dropping onto a nearby ledge. When dropping, keep an eye on your shadow as it'll tell you where Samus will fall. Carefully move along the pipe to the next spider track for another drop. I usually go too far for this one so I can see my shadow, and then back up until I no longer can. This should line you up properly for the next spider track. Just one more drop until the last spider track, but it's high enough where your shadow is no longer visible. Try to match where I stop here to ensure landing on the pipe below. Then, just avoid a couple more parasites, roll up the spider track, and grab the shiny new set of missiles at the end of the rainbow. Our 31st missile expansion brings us back to the Watery Hall within Chozo Ruins. We return here after acquiring the gravity suit and space jump boots so that we can walk straight into the deepest part of water at the back of the room. Once we do this, a ledge becomes visible that we can now hop right onto where expansion is waiting for us. Missile 32 and 33 bring us to the backside of the Watery Hall in Chozo Ruins where we acquired our charge beam early on in the game. From this location, we can see a small covering over a pipe at the edge of the floor against the wall. Use a Morph Ball Bomb to break this covering and gain access to the pipe and a small room on the other side. A quick missile will allow passage beyond the door in this room. From here, navigate the halls to another missile door to discover a ventilation room of sorts. Pop off another missile to destroy a metal grate blocking access to expansion number 32. Next, just turn around and look up to see a spider ball track that follows the wall up into the ceiling. Jump onto the platform at the bottom of the track and use the spider ball to acquire number 33 tucked away in the shaft. Next up is Missile Expansion 34, which lands us in the Training Chamber Access in Chozo Ruins. Walk to the end of this tunnel before entering the next room and use your Morph Ball to roll beneath the foliage hiding a small tunnel in order to grab the expansion from its hiding spot. Expansion 35 has us starting in the Piston Tunnel of Chozo Ruins. Make sure to time your movements more carefully than I do here so as to avoid taking unnecessary damage. Keep moving forward until you exit the tunnel. After exiting, we find ourselves in a corner of the main plaza, with the expansion directly across the gap from us. Use the grapple beam after jumping to lasso yourself across the gap in order to get your next missile upgrade. Alrighty folks, number 36 is going to land us in the hot seat as we return to the Triclops pit of Magmoor Caverns. When you enter the clearing of the pit, take care of any annoying pests flying around first. Afterwards, move over to the right where a cluster of boxes lie on the ground. Beyond those boxes floats a platform that can only be seen with the X-ray visor. Hop on over to the platform and look to the left to see the next in line. Hop on over to that one and the final in the series where you can see the expansion within a pillar. Fire off a missile and finally hop into the newly broken pillar before the platform falls to the ground beneath you in order to grab your new expansion. Next, we make our way to the Frost Cave in Phendrana Drifts for Missile Expansion 37. In this cave, we see a glider floating about aimlessly, which we will use to our advantage by grappling onto it and swinging across the gap to the cliffs on the other side. Once across, hop up the remaining ledges until you can see the stalactite above you and its exposed weakness on the side. Fire missiles at the vulnerability until it falls. Once the stalactite falls, it will open a hole in the ice, allowing us to dive in and grab the expansion floating off to the side beneath the ice's surface. Number 38 still has us in Phendrana Drifts, as we'll need to visit the gravity chamber where we first acquired the gravity suit. Dangling from the ceiling is a massive ice structure that covers a grapple node. In order to be able to access it, we'll need to introduce some heat to melt the ice. Don your plasma beam and destroy the ice with a well-placed shot. Once the ice has been cleared away, use the newly available grapple node to swing onto a small ledge jutting out of the wall to get access to the missile expansion sitting there. For missile expansion number 39, we're going farther into Phendrana Drifts as we'll start off in the Quarantine Cave. Once here, we'll just need to swing across a huge gap to a lone pillar of ice against the wall with the help of 2 grapple nodes. After swinging across, hop to the top of the ice and use your morph ball to enter a small access tunnel to enter the room where the set of missiles is waiting patiently. Expansion 40 brings us back to the entrance of Phendrana Drifts by taking us to Phendrana Shorelines. Here we'll just need to make our way across the vast opening of the area towards the backside of one of the pillars. Once we see the back of this pillar, we can see our expansion hiding behind a sheet of ice. Don the plasma beam, melt the ice, and grab your newest expansion. Next, we're going to make our way over to Ice Ruins East in Phendrana Drifts, where we can cash in on a buy one get one free deal. First, let's make our way across the courtyard towards the door on the other end. Feel free to dispose of any wildlife on the way. Once there, we should be able to see a sheet of ice that can be broken with the plasma beam to free our 41st expansion. For number 42, we will need to make our way up the ledges of the ruins towards the back corner of the room until we find a spider ball track. Next, drop into the morph ball and follow the track until number 42 is also in your possession. Missile Expansion 43 drops us into the depths of Phazon Mines by placing us in Metroid Quarantine A. Here we'll first need to make our way through the Space Pirate Lab into the open cavern area full of Metroids. Make sure to take care of the Metroids first by shooting them with the ice beam and then popping off a missile to shatter their frozen body. Once into the open area, hop onto the large glowing mushrooms just left at the entrance and equip your X-ray visor. With the X-ray visor, hop onto the invisible platforms to cross the pit of Phazon residue. Once across, take care of the few remaining Metroids and hop up some more mushrooms onto a platform nearby. Use the X-ray visor again to safely get across to the other side, where a hidden opening can then be seen. Use a power bomb to access this opening, and pop off one more to break the other side as well. After the second wall is broken, a spider ball track will become visible, which takes us back to the other side of the room. Once across, on the X-ray visor one more time to be able to see the hidden platform acting as an elevator, which will finally take us to the expansion we're looking for. Missile Expansion 44 takes us even farther into Phazon Mines, into the Fungal Hall access found at the bottom of Elevator B. First, eliminate the annoying space pirate on guard. Once he's no longer an issue, hop on down to the bottom where the missile expansion is visible beneath one of the massive mushrooms. The last thing to do is use your Morphball to roll in, grab it, and get out before the Phazon does serious damage. Next in line is Fungal Hall B of Phazon Mines, where Expansion 45 sits in wait. Surprise, surprise, it's another dark room full of Metroids. Use the Ice Beam and missiles to dispose of them to make life easier. If one happens to latch onto your face, pop off a power bomb to get it off of you and destroy any others nearby as well. In general, let's make our way to the far side of the room on the bottom level. Once at the back, we should be able to use our thermal visor to see a ring of mushrooms on the ground above our missile expansion. Drop another power bomb to destroy the covering and gain access to your newest set of missiles. More Phazon Mines madness ensues at Metroid Quarantine B for Missile Expansion 46. First up is making use of the pair of spiderball tracks immediately ahead of us. Roll on up the first and watch for your shadow on the second to determine where to drop. Once across the spiderball tracks, hop onto the nearby platform, which gives access to a grapple node. Double jump up to be able to latch onto the grapple and swing across the Phazon-filled ravine. After swinging across, a nearby terminal can be scanned to lower the force field blocking access to the next room. Drop the force field and then destroy any pesky pirates that are on guard before looking for a storage container made of cordite. Since it's made of cordite, we'll need to loose off another super missile to destroy the shielding and expose the missile expansion within. Last thing to do is to grab your shiny new gizmo. We're almost done with Phazon Mines, I promise, but this time we'll need to head towards the Phazon Processing Center for Missile Expansion 47. If you're going in the same order as my guide, work your way up from the bottom floor with the ledges and platforms in the room. Go up until you get to the main platform centered about halfway up where an ice door is visible. From this platform, exterminate any space pirates that are in the way before moving towards the east side of the room. There will be a platform just beneath our feet on this side. Drop onto this platform with the X-ray visor where the missile expansion can be seen behind a wall. Drop a power bomb to destroy this wall and grab the prize hidden within. Missile Expansion 48 is the last missile expansion of Phazon Mines and can be found in Security Access A near the entrance to the overall area. After you arrive, you should see a Bendesium gate near one end. Bendesium means another power bomb, so pop one off to destroy it while taking care of any space pirates simultaneously. Next, roll on in and grab your newest expansion. We're finally at the end of this massive guide and find ourselves at the root cave of Tallon Overworld. Here we'll be able to acquire the last 2 missile expansions in the game. First, we'll need to swing across the room with the grapple node near the entrance. This will allow us to make our way further up the landscape of the room. Once high enough, don the X-ray visor to see the next set of platforms and continue moving upwards. With the X-ray visor still equipped, we can eventually see an opening to the left that harbors a missile expansion. Hop on in to grab missile expansion number 49. From here, carefully hop back out and continue along the path of invisible platforms to the door at the top. Open it with the plasma beam and grab the 50th and final missile expansion. If you've been following along with my guides, then this will also be the last pickup of the game as a whole, so kudos for grabbing them all. You should have little issues with any threats moving forward with this fully decked out arsenal. The amount of missiles in this game is staggering, so I wish you the best of luck in your collecting endeavors. By the time you're done, you'll have more missiles than you know what to do with. As always, a big thank you to those of you that watch and leave comments of appreciation on my guides. I always enjoy seeing your messages of thanks. A big thank you to my patrons too, of course, who keep the iceberg afloat and videos like this one moving forward. If you'd like to join our iceberg crew, be sure to check out my link tree in the description to see my social media pages and join the Discord where we drop memes and share Nintendo news. Be sure to subscribe so you can keep an eye out for more guides in the future. If you have a certain Metroid or Zelda title you'd like to see a guide for, give me a shout in the comments. Also, if you haven't already, check out the other Metroid Prime guides to make sure you don't miss any of the other pickups. Until next time, stay frosty everybody.